All right, guys. So listen, good afternoon. Just so you understand, we have a do now up. So we're going to complete the do now while I take attendance. So the do now for you guys today is how did the transatlantic slave trade help strengthen mercantilist economy? Okay. How did the transatlantic slave trade help strengthen the mercantilist economy? Please do the do now, and then I will take attendance, and then we will talk about our objective and our assignment for today. All right, guys. So let's talk about the do now real quick, and then we're going to get into the objective. All right. So the do now was, how did the transatlantic slave trade strengthen mercantilist economy? Remember, if you're going to answer, right, or if you're going to talk, make sure, being that is being recorded, make sure you drop your camera. All right, make sure you drop your camera. So let's talk about it. How did the slave trade strengthen a mercantilist economy? Dennis.
I put that the transatlantic slave trade pushed the colonists to only buy British goods from the British, which causes the economic situation that they have. It caused it to basically go through the roof, since they were only buying things from them, and every other country and every other place in Europe basically had no customers. So their economy dropped.
All right. Oh, awesome. Very good. That's a great answer, Dennis. Thank you very much. Very good. So Maya, do you want to jump off of that and explain a little bit how that works with the example that we talked about yesterday?
How it works?
Yes. Explain to me.
So basically, how the whole trade thing works.
Yep. So talk about the colonies. Go ahead.
So the colonies would give their like goods, like like untouched goods, I guess you could say.
Okay.
That weren't, and they would give them to what was it, the
mother country, right?
Yeah, the mother country, and for free, since they were the mother country, and then the mother country would they would give them manufactured goods back to the colonies, and it was a whole cycle.
Absolutely. Very good. Thank you, Maya. Great job. Awesome, right? So that was very good. So you could drop the mic now and put your camera back on. So that's how it strengthened mercantilism, right? And this type of economy, right? Was because they took these slaves, they made the slaves work over in the colonies, right? And they got all these raw materials and goods and brought them to the mother country in Europe, which they manufactured, right? And that's how they made their money, because they sold it back to the colonies. And the colonies couldn't trade with anybody else because Europe was in charge. The mother country was in charge, right? And that was our do now. And that's just a little recap about what we learned the past couple of days, okay? And that's going to lead us into the Colombian Exchange. And that is what our objective is today. So it's to understand the importance of the Colombian Exchange and how the movement of people, animals, plants, cultures, and diseases affected the Eastern and Western Hemisphere. You guys are also going to understand how the arrival of Europeans changed Native Americans' lives, okay? So we're going to do that today with the use of, we're going to use a YouTube video. I uploaded a document on your Google Classroom, the positives and negatives of the Colombian Exchange, and we are going to fill in positives and negatives on a Jamboard. Okay, I also uploaded a Jamboard for you guys as well on your Google Classroom. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is you need to pay attention, because we're going to talk about a few things after the YouTube video. Okay, some of the main important points that were discussed in the video. So right now I am going to present the video to you. Let me know with a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Thumbs up. Yep, Galilea got a thumbs up. Yep, awesome. All right, great. Thank you, guys. I love the thumbs up. All right, so here we're going to play this, and make sure you guys are focusing on some of the main important things. You might be amazed by some of the things that were exchanged back and forth, okay? Awesome. All right, great, guys. So understanding that and listening to the video, okay? what are a few main things? Remember, when we talk, we got to drop our cameras, okay? So a few main things from the video. What did you see? A few main things from the video.
Can I answer, Mister?
Oh, yeah. Jalen will go next. Okay, Dennis, go ahead.
I saw that they traded horses and corn.
Absolutely.
And that, for example, people in the other side of the world did not have. They would trade. They would trade it for things that on this side of the world they didn't have.
Right, and isn't that amazing that the Americas, right, North, Central, and Southern, right? They didn't have horses over here. Horses weren't over here. They were brought over here by Europeans, right? Now you can go right down New Jersey, right? You can go down at a farm and see a horse everywhere. Okay, cows. You can see them everywhere, and they were brought over from Europe here. We never even had those, right? Bananas. Like you can get a banana everywhere now, right? They didn't even have them over here. To me, that's just mind-blowing how this all takes place, and this was very, very important, right? So, Jalen, what else was passed? Don't forget to drop the camera. What else was passed across between Europe and the Americas, across the Atlantic Ocean during this Columbian Exchange?
Well, they did. Can you hear me? Okay. Did they already say slaves and stuff?
No, but no. People, very good people.
They
absolutely.
Would bring people from Europe to America. They would bring, as they said, like goods in exchange, basically for like the gold and the silver that they wanted.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sorry, but that's my answer.
Hey, Jalen, that's perfect. Absolutely. Does anybody else want to talk about religion? How about religion? Because that's very important.
Oh,
that was good. Yeah, Jalen.
Probably speak about religion. Did they bring never mind, mister. I think I'm gonna get this wrong. So I'm sorry.
All right. No, go ahead. Try again. Let's do it. Let's work together. Come on.
No, mister. I don't know.
All right, remember, so I'm gonna help you out. They brought over Christianity.
Okay, yeah. They brought Christianity. So basically a lot of people started, if you bring a religion over here, people started adopting to that religion, like going with the religion, and we still have it till this day.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, you were on point. Absolutely. Very good. Great job. Awesome, right? So this was a change and exchange of ideas, religion, food, animals, right? And also, which is very important, is diseases, guys. Diseases. So it affected the Native Americans. Don't forget, they were the first ones here, were the Native Americans, right? It affected the Native Americans because they weren't able to adapt and they'd never seen these diseases before. And it wiped out so many Native Americans. It killed so many Native Americans. Now, my question to you is, how can you relate to something foreign, right, from another country coming here, okay, and changing the entire nation because we cannot fight it off? How can you relate to that? Something that's taking place right now. How can we relate to the way the Native Americans felt?
With the current pandemic that's going on.
Exactly, right? And that's exactly what happened back then. It's exactly what happened back then without the technology, without the medicine, right? So you can think of the destruction that took place, right? Very good. Good job, guys. All right, so now what we're going to do, the document that I gave you guys, I want you to open that up, and we're going to go through a little bit, and then we're going to be able to get into our Jamboard with that, all right? So I'm going to present mine. Okay, can everybody see my document? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to read the summary for you. It says the Columbian Exchange, positive and negative impacts, okay? So before 1492, does anybody remember the saying with 1492?
Columbus.
No. Yeah, 1490. Good job, Jalen. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? So before 1492, the New World was cut off from the rest of the world. The voyages of Christopher Columbus and other explorers introduced new animals, plants, and institutions to the New World. The Old World received other plants and animals from the New World. Many of these exchanges had positive impacts, but the impact of some exchanges were negative. Now we need to understand which was old and which was new. Okay, the New World was the Americas. No, we didn't even know about it, right? We didn't even explore that yet. So that is the New World. Okay, the Old World was Europe. Okay, that's where everything was taking place until we started to explore and reach out. Okay, so we need to understand where things are coming and going from. All right. So one impact. So who wants to read from New World to Old World? One positive impact.
I mean, I could read if you want, mister.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Positive impacts from New World to Old World. Corn or maize is one of the most important foods the Old World received from the New World. Alfred Crosby wrote, "If maize were the only gift the American Indian ever presented to the world, he would deserve undying gratitude, for it has become one of the most important of all foods for men and their livestock. Corn can be grown on land that can't easily grow rice or wheat. It has become an important food in Europe, Egypt, India, China, and other countries."
Very good. Awesome. Thank you. So, guys, so from the New World to the Old World, right, was bought corn and maize. Corn and maize. And let's not, I always try to put these things in there about, because I'm a sports guy, right? So maize, right? University of Michigan is the maize and blue. They're blue and yellow, right? That's where they get the color maize from, right? So corn and maize. So Europe never even had corn. They didn't even have corn, and they got that from the Americas. Those are one of the products that was brought to there. So that was a positive impact. And there's many of them. We're not going to go through all of them because I'm going to let you guys delve into that and dive into that, and you're going to put that on your jam board. But let's go to a negative impact. So this comes from the Old World, which was Europe, to the New World. The first one right here, from Old World to the New World. Who's going to read that for me? So let's go with Galilea.
Hello?
Yeah, awesome, Galilea. Thank you. All right, can you read the negative impact for me?
Yeah. From Old World to New World, diseases that devastate humans. Because they were separated from the rest of the world, Native Americans had no prior contact with smallpox and other deadly diseases. This made the diseases more dangerous than they were for Europeans. Between 15,000 and 1650, large numbers of Native Americans died from measles, smallpox, influenza, and other diseases.
Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Galilea. I appreciate that, right? So they weren't able to adapt, right? And they never seen these diseases before. So once they came in contact, right, with these diseases, they couldn't survive, right? Nowadays we have vaccines for that, right? So when you're a little kid, right, you get your vaccines for your measles, your mumps, rubella. You get all these vaccines, right? Smallpox, right? Influenza. Do we know what influenza is?
Isn't it the flu?
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. Very good, Maya. Also, so they had the flu back then too. They caught the flu, right? And we're talking about in the years between 1500 and 1650. They caught the flu then too. It was around, right? It's been around, okay? And then of course all other diseases. All right. So guys, what we're gonna do right now, you're gonna use this sheet that I gave you, okay, with the positive and negative impacts. And what you're gonna do is you should all have a Jamboard uploaded on your Google Classroom that looks like this, right? And you're going to go into the positives and the negatives. And I know you guys are very familiar with how to use a Jamboard. So for example, just for example, if you want to put a negative, you hit the text box, right? You can go here and you can click on that. And then you can type in, I'm going to put a negative, which is disease. Right? And then if you want to put a positive, now you can use sticky notes. I'll use a yellow sticky note. But I'm just going to put in horses. Right? And we'll hit save. Cancel this one. And then you got your little sticky note right there. Okay? So that being said, guys, I'm going to give you about 10 to 12 minutes, okay, 10 to 12 minutes to go ahead and to complete your Jamboard. and then we will come together and we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we will end and finalize class. All right. I'm going to stop recording right now, guys. Thank you very much. That was a great job.